everyone. How are you doing today? What a great day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night for some of you. How are you doing? Post a comment below to let me know. Today I am excited. We are doing something different on this Chatting with Karina event. And many of you know already I go live every other Saturday, okay? And we are going to share the news for this upcoming month in later on at the beginning of September. We are doing some changes, but today we are going to talk about what is it like to be in a relationship with a stroke survivor. Who is excited? Before starting, I want to thank you. Thank you for the people who are connecting with me today. And post a comment below to let me know where are you connecting from. So who is excited here to get started? Let's dive in. Here I have a guest on today's Chatting with Karina event. And his name is Luis. He is my husband. So we are going to do like a interview of what is like to be in a relationship with a stroke survivor. We have a history here, so be with us. Luis, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Well, currently 30 years old. I met Karina back in like late 2010. We officially became boyfriend and girlfriend in 2011, on February 14th, 2011. Yes, I know that's a little cheesy to do asking her on Valentine's Day, but hey, why not? And we were boyfriend and girlfriend for 7, almost 8 years before, a little bit old-fashioned. I wanted to wait till we both had our college degrees and we started our profession and everything, and right outside of her graduation, I took that thing a little too seriously at this point. Right outside her graduation, I actually proposed to her. She said yes, and 2 years later, we got married, and so far we've been married about to be 3 years in a week and a half. Actually, yeah, a week and a half. So, yeah, currently I work as an IT for a car dealership, and yeah, we've been together for about 11 years, actually, yeah.
How time flies, right? And we can spend here, we can talk about this for hours, but today we are going to talk about what it is like to be in a relationship with a stroke survivor, and we can break it down in different topics, but I would love to know more about how is the emotional part of being with a stroke survivor.
All right. It's going to be quite an emotional roller coaster, because just like any situation, at first, you're not going to know exactly what you're going to get into. And there will be some baggage that will accompany being in a relationship with a person like that. But throughout all of this, a stroke survivor, if you get into a relationship with a stroke survivor, they will begin to doubt themselves if they are like worthy of you. It's like if you want to leave me for someone who like functions better and stuff like that. But if you truly care about that person, that you're going to reassure that the feelings you have for your significant other are true, and that no, you're not going to leave them because they are the ones they want. So I remember when I first saw Karina, and like at first I didn't know she had a stroke. She was constantly like trying to stretch her hand and everything. And I thought it was curious, and then we kind of got to know each other. And I remember thinking, I want to make her smile for the rest of her life. And so far, I think I've kept that promise I've made to myself. But there will be good as well as bad times. And honestly, if we're getting honest, if we're getting real here, you, or in my case, you're going to have to be that emotional anchor. Because someone who's gone through a stroke has been through a lot. And emotions are going to go haywire in some cases. And you've got to be there. You've got to say, it's like, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, just let me know. It will take some sacrifices in some cases, but like I said before, if you truly, truly care for that person, if you really want to be with them, you will do anything in your power to make that come true.
Thank you. Thank you for being so open, right? We are talking here very open, honest as well, because it is something serious. It is a big event in our lives. There are several things that were mentioned in just that brief of information, right? That we go through a lot. Emotionally, it is a big concept, and that is why, as many of you know, I am now a life stroke coach, helping other individuals pre and post stroke to prevent or become independent after a stroke. And one of the things that were mentioned is to have or build that strong mental muscle. That is some of the things on my practice I emphasize so much, and it is so important for us and survivors. We often focus on just the physical aspect. That is another point. But first, I want to talk about the emotional part of building that strong mental muscle, because on the relationship, it's not just the thinking about and why you select me, right, and all other things, but also being strong when those things happen, so we can overcome them. Okay, so that is one of the things that is very important, and thank you for bringing it up, because it is something very important, and we also cover in Living Without Limits with Karina Sedan. And another thing I want to say thank you for, and maybe elaborate a little bit more if you are open, is the physical part where you see myself moving that hand, right, like stretching. Another thing, it is very important for us survivors, stretching every day. Can you tell me a little bit more about that physical part?
When it comes to the physical part of like the relationship itself, as someone who cares for like your significant other, there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to be seeing them struggle to do basic tasks. And I've learned that in some cases, instead of jumping in to automatically help, I prefer to ask, because the last thing you want to make that person feel is useless. And you can ask Karina, a lot of times I tell her, it's like, you've got to try. You've got to try, because if you don't use that left hand, if you don't stretch it, if you don't try doing things for that, and you're not going to keep pull on through. And as as her significant other. Throughout the years that I've known her, I've actually visited the rehab centers, occupational therapy, and what I did was pay attention to what exactly they were doing. So when I got home, I could learn to do it myself. That way, we don't have to solely depend on like the person, doctor, or like the therapist and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. Just ask questions to the therapist, like how should I do this if I'm at home? What is the best way of doing this? Because recovery is something that is ongoing, not just exercises you do when you're at the doctor. When it comes to the physical, just try to learn things that will help that person come out of that spasticity or whatever physical aspect they're having issues with, as well as think of other ways that you can possibly help. Do research online. There's a bunch of different resources you can use to help your significant other. For example, for Karina, there's times where I see her move. I see her movements while she's walking or while she's doing something, and I try to analyze what part of her body would she need to strengthen in order for her to pull through from that. Either that or like what possible stretches or what does she possibly need to do, or in some cases, because I can't be home at all times, what stretches can she do without me, or what can I make or do to help her do her stretches and exercises by herself. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing all that, right, in the physical aspect. Another thing that is very, very important for us, and because caregivers, and here I go a little bit further, and it's not just the if we are in a relationship, but also moms or family members we live with. They are our eyes. They are the ones who are looking at us in our bad days or good days. And I don't know, I just have this experience that came to my mind when I used to live with my mom. She were the one who always told me, Karina, move your hand, move, because we as stroke survivors are not aware of the things we do. Okay, so many things to talk here, and those are the other things as well, right? We talk about in other videos how important it is for us, our physical aspect, not just emotional, but physical is very, very important. About being in a relationship, they are very important for us as well. Like allowing us to do the work is very important as well. Sometimes we find people, we want to use our hands, right, and they quickly run to try to help us or try to do our task. And that is another point that is very, very important, to let survivors do the work. Okay, that is why one of the things you hear me before, and it's sharing this concept of that we not only need information but also action. We survivors need to do the work. So it is a lot of interesting things, right? One other thing, or other questions I have here for you is, what you recommend or suggest for other people who maybe they are thinking or they are looking to have a partner, but when they know about the history or the background, right, that we have a stroke, or even they maybe they see that person and they like them, but they are scared to go in a relationship like that?
Well, the first thing is you shouldn't really be afraid. If you really, really, really care about that person, you'll make it work, no matter what. If you really feel for that person, if it's you want not only yourself to be better, but you try to make them better, and that'll definitely help a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for answering that. And here I am so excited to share with you all that all of the things we covered today about emotion, about physical, and the essential things or elements we need to work toward this journey, they all are about, or that is what is all about living without limits with Karina Seda. So if you want to know more, if you are curious and want to know more how we can help to prevent or become independent from a stroke, I want you to send me a direct message or go to the link below. I will be posting two links, okay? One to a webinar that you can, it is a free webinar where you are able to see or know more in details what is the stroke formula about and how we in Living Without Limits with Karina Seda prevent or become independent from a stroke. I hope that you all have a great day. Another thing I wanted to share with you all before ending today's chatting with Karina, that is that for the month of September we are doing some changes. So stay in tune. On September the 1st, I will be sharing more details on lwlwks.com, okay? And for today, to know more information, go to the link below. See you soon. Bye.